Okay, let's talk about something I know a lot of people think about. Could you really run a business back home while you're working thousands of miles away? Well, today, we're diving into a fascinating blueprint that's designed to do just that. It's called the Remote Control Franchise, and it's built specifically for overseas Filipino workers. Let's break down how this whole thing works.
I mean, this is the big question, right? For literally millions of people working abroad. How do you take all that hard-earned money and turn it into something real, something tangible for your family back home? And here's the kicker. Do it without having to pack up your whole life and move back for good?
Well, the business model we're looking at today says the answer is a big, fat yes. It's actually built from the ground up for what they call the OFW investor. And what does that mean? It's someone who's physically absent, yeah, but totally present digitally.
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to cover how you can even run a business from abroad. Then, we'll get into the why this whole model is focused on the Cavite market. After that, we'll really dissect this turnkey system, get into the numbers, the important stuff. And we'll finish up by looking at this really unique trust-building feature they call the video of joy.
All right, first up, a business you can run from abroad. I mean, this is the core promise, isn't it? So how does it actually work? Like, in the real world? How are you supposed to manage things like inventory, sales, and customer service when you're in a totally different time zone?
So what's really fascinating about this is how they split up the work. The OFW investor, you run the whole show right from your phone. Meanwhile, you hire a local assistant to handle all the on-the-ground stuff. And the parent company, they do all the heavy lifting on the tech side. They build the website, they handle the bugs, they even offer what they call unlimited support, which, is a huge deal. Everything from training to marketing, it's all designed to be done from anywhere. It's a truly hands-off approach when it comes to the technical stuff.
Okay, so that's the how. Now let's talk about the where. This whole thing is laser-focused on one specific province in the Philippines, and that's Cavite. So what's so special about Cavite?
Well, it all starts with the target audience. The data shows there are about 180,000 OFWs who are originally from Cavite. I mean, think about that. That's a massive built-in audience right there. These aren't just potential customers. These are people who are already sending money home, and they have deep, deep roots in that specific area. And get this, those customers have some serious spending power. We're talking about an estimated 14 times billion pesos in remittances flowing into Cavite every single year. So this isn't just a big market. It's a cash-rich market with a really consistent, predictable flow of money coming in.
And finally, you have to realize this whole opportunity isn't just happening in a vacuum. It's grounded in a really powerful local economy. Back in 2023, Cavite's GDP was over 351 billion pesos. That makes it a true industrial powerhouse in the region. And what does a strong local economy mean for you? It means more suppliers, better logistics, and, of course, a lot more local purchasing power.
Okay, let's move on to Section 3, the turnkey franchise model. Now, turnkey is a word you hear thrown around all the time, right? The idea is you just turn the key and boom, the business just runs itself. So let's find out what that actually means in this specific case.
Yeah, this here really breaks down the whole partnership. So the OFW investor, that's you get to focus on the human side of things. We're talking local marketing, building relationships with suppliers, and overseeing customer service. Meanwhile, the parent company, MyxxMarket, they handle all the complicated tech stuff. And they don't just build you a website, they preload it with over 5,000 products and give you unlimited tech support for the first year. This whole split in responsibilities is really the secret sauce that makes the remote model work.
And just look at how fast they say you can get this thing off the ground. It's a simple 4-step process. The whole idea is to take you from making a payment to launching your business in about a week. The site gets built in just 3 days, you do about a week of training through video calls, and then you're live. The speed here is obviously a huge selling point.
All right, let's get to the part everyone's been waiting for. This is arguably the most important section for any potential investor. The numbers. How does this thing actually make money, and what's it going to cost you to get started? So it looks like there are 4 different ways to earn. The big one, of course, is product markups, and you're looking at a pretty healthy 35 to 50% margin there. But here's what's really clever, the delivery fee. The franchisee gets to keep all of it. That's just pure profit. On top of that, you've got recurring revenue from things like partner listings, and you even get a small commission on bill payments. It's a nice diversified way to bring in money.
Okay, so what does it cost to get in the door? The main upfront investment is a one-time setup fee of 85,000 pesos. And what does that cover? Well, that's what gets you the website, the initial training, and, this is super important, the exclusive rights to operate in your territory.
Now, after that initial fee, there is a recurring cost to keep things running. It's a monthly platform fee of just 1,250 pesos, and that covers all the important stuff. Website hosting, maintenance, and the tech support you need to keep everything humming along smoothly.
All right, let's jump into our final section, and honestly, this might be the most unique part of the entire blueprint. It's a system designed to solve the #1 problem in the OFW market, and that problem is trust. They have a really cool name for it, the Video of Joy.
See, building that trust starts with the products themselves. The whole model is about stocking authentic, local goods that OFWs miss and just can't get anywhere else. Things like the famous Kaping Barako, local longanisa, fresh seafood from back home. So this isn't just about selling groceries. It's about selling the taste of home. And that right there creates an immediate emotional connection and a real foundation of trust.
But this is the real trust builder. It's all about this quote right here. Every single delivery includes video proof. So the OFW literally watches their money arrive home. They actually see the items being packed and handed right to their loved ones. This just transforms a simple online purchase into a guaranteed, totally visible act of care. It's an incredibly powerful idea, really.
So when you boil it all down, that's really the blueprint in a nutshell. It uses technology to give an investor overseas complete remote control. But you can see that its success seems to depend just as much on that connection to local products, and maybe most importantly, on its ability to build real human trust across thousands and thousands of miles.
And that leaves us with one final big question. As more and more of the world's workforce goes global and remote, could these kinds of hyper-local, tech-enabled, trust-based franchise models, could this be the future of investing back home? It's definitely something to think about.